Imagine a small town where everyone knows your name, where Friday nights are for high school football and dreams feel just within reach. Mishawaka, Indiana, population around 50,000, a place of simple joys, community barbecues and tight-knit families. But beneath that serene surface, a darkness was brewing in December 2018. A story so heartbreaking, so unthinkable that it shattered lives forever. This is the true story of Breana Rouhselang, a 17-year-old girl full of life, love and promise, whose world was stolen in the blink of an eye. And the boy who took it all away, Aaron Trejo, her 16-year-old classmate. Why did this happen? How could a teen romance turn into a nightmare? Stick with me, because as we peel back the layers, you'll feel the shock, the anger, the profound sadness that still lingers today. And in 2025, why is this case haunting headlines again? Let's dive in. Breana Rouhselang was the kind of girl who lit up every room she entered. Blonde hair, bright blue eyes, a smile that could melt the coldest heart. At 17, she was a junior at Mishawaka High, deeply involved in sports, a dedicated cheerleader, a softball player with a killer swing, and the manager for the football team. Friends called her Bree or Bree, and they adored her for her kindness. She was the one who'd check in on you if you seemed down. The girl who volunteered at local events, always putting others first. Her obituary described her as a very kind and compassionate person who was devoted to athletics since she could walk. Imagine that. A kid who's been running bases and flipping pom-poms since toddlerhood. But Breana had dreams beyond the field. She talked about college, maybe studying nursing or something where she could help people. Her family was her rock. Mom Melissa Wallace, stepdad Dave, and a close-knit circle that included her father and stepmother. They didn't know it yet, but Breana was carrying a secret that would change everything. Now enter Aaron Trejo. At 16, he was a football player at the same school. Strong, athletic, the kind of guy who seemed to have it all together on the surface, but looks can be deceiving. Aaron and Breana had known each other since elementary school, sharing classes, hallways, and eventually a brief romance. It was one of those high school flings, passionate, secretive, full of teenage intensity. But things got complicated fast. By fall 2018, rumors swirled about their relationship, though Breana kept it quiet from her family. She was 6 months pregnant and Aaron was the father. Can you feel the weight of that? A 17-year-old girl, excited yet terrified about motherhood, naming her unborn baby girl Aurora Mackenzie Rouhselang. She confided in a few friends, texting one, "He's really mad, I don't know what to do." Her searches online were about pregnancy rights for minors, showing her vulnerability. Aaron, on the other hand, was spiraling. He later told police neither wanted the baby, but Breana had waited too long to tell him, past the point where an abortion was possible in Indiana. His anger built like a storm cloud, repressed and dangerous. A psychologist would later testify, he had a lot of repressed hostility, a lot of repressed anger. It's gut-wrenching to think about. 2 kids, barely out of childhood themselves, facing adult decisions they weren't ready for. About a week before that fateful night, Aaron started planning. Planning something no one could imagine. He selected a kitchen knife from his home, thinking it would kill Breana quickly by targeting her heart. He even prepared a black plastic bag to cover her body. Why? Because the pregnancy felt like a trap, derailing his future. No prior criminal record, no signs of violence, yet here he was, methodically plotting. It's chilling, isn't it? How does a teenager go from throwing touchdowns to this? Friends later recalled overhearing Aaron say he didn't want to be a dad, frustrated that adoption wasn't an option due to family pressures. His internet searches, abortion timelines, crime scene cleanup, legal consequences for minors. The signs were there, subtle but real. In 2025, new documentaries are questioning if the school or community missed these red flags. Breana's withdrawal, Aaron's tension at practice. Was there overlooked evidence, potential accomplices, systemic failures in protecting vulnerable teens? These revelations are why the case is back in the spotlight, sparking urgent conversations about teen safety. December 8, 2018, a cold, crisp evening. Holiday lights twinkled in Mishawaka, but for Breana, it was a night of confrontation. Around 11 p.m., she told her mom she was stepping outside to meet someone. That someone was Aaron, who had messaged her to discuss the pregnancy. They hadn't spoken in months, but the tension was palpable. Witnesses later saw them in the alley behind her home around 11:15 p.m. Raised voices, a scream that pierced the night, then eerie silence. What happened next is the stuff of nightmares. Aaron stabbed Breana multiple times in the chest and heart, then strangled her with her own scarf so tightly that strangulation was underway before the wounds took her. She fought back. Oh, how she must have fought. But betrayal caught her off guard. He placed the black plastic bag over her head and upper torso, dragged her body blocks away to a dumpster behind Pasquale's Italian restaurant, and tossed her phone and the knife into the St. Joseph River as far as he could. Then he walked home several blocks as if nothing happened. The autopsy confirmed multiple stab wounds fatal to the heart. The 6-month-old fetus, viable and named Aurora, perished too. Manner of death, homicide. It's heartbreaking to picture a young girl full of potential left in the cold like discarded trash. How could anyone do that to someone they once cared for? The hours ticked by. Breana's mother, Melissa Wallace, then known as Nicole in some reports, woke around 1 a.m. to an empty room. Panic set in. She drove to Aaron's house, knocking urgently. He answered calm as ever, lying. She never showed up. I lost my phone. Melissa, sensing something wrong, knowing her daughter was pregnant, searched with her stepfather, contacting friends. By 4:30 a.m., they reported her missing to Mishawaka police. The community stirred, whispers at school, social media pleas with Breana's photo. Volunteers combed streets, fields, even garages. But deep down, Melissa feared the worst. We're just in shock. Really, we're in disbelief that this is going on, she later said. Her stepmother added, she didn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. Dave Rouhselang, Breana's father, echoed, she's the nicest, sweetest, most innocent girl you'd ever meet. The pain in their voices, it's palpable even years later. Morning light revealed the horror. Around 9 a.m. on December 9th, police found blood-stained glasses, a bloody hat, and spatter in the alley. Following the trail, they reached the dumpster behind the restaurant. There, partially concealed in the black bag, was Breana's body. The community reeled, shock, anger, grief washing over Mishawaka like a tidal wave. The restaurant issued a statement. Our condolences. We are saddened for our Mishawaka city. School officials offered counseling. Superintendent Wayne Barker emphasizing healing. But questions loomed. Who did this? Why? Aaron was the obvious suspect, last to communicate with her. Police interviewed him that afternoon. He stuck to his alibi. No meeting, no phone service. A lie. Records showed an active plan. But evidence mounted. Blood trails, fingerprints on the bag, cell records of tense texts, surveillance footage placing him near the alley at midnight. Deleted messages recovered, arguments over the pregnancy, Breana's fear. Confronted, Aaron's facade cracked. He grew quiet, withdrawn. Then, the confession. Yes, he admitted to fighting over the baby. I took action. I took her life. He detailed the week-long plan. The knife for a quick kill, the disposal. Neither of us wanted the baby, he said, blaming Breana for delaying the news. No remorse in his initial words, just cold facts. Detectives noted his detached demeanor. It's infuriating, isn't it? A life, 2 lives, ended over fear of responsibility. December 10. Charges filed. Murder, level 1 felony, 45-65 years, and feticide, level 5, 3 to 16 years. As a 16-year-old, Aaron was tried as an adult under Indiana law. Arraigned December 11th, held without bond. He pleaded not guilty at first, but by October 30, 2019, in a surprise status hearing, he changed to guilty on both counts. No trial. A plea deal avoiding double jeopardy. Sentencing came January 7, 2020, before Judge Elizabeth Hurley. Prosecutors painted a picture of brutality. The goal was to kill the child, and Breana was in the way. Deputy Chris Frank's words hit hard. Aaron's family defended him. Brother Adam said, Aaron is the most loving, most caring person I know. But Breana's loved ones? Devastated. Melissa, no amount of time will ever replace what he took from me. Dave Trejo showed no remorse or regret. Friend Jasmine Sills, all I can say is I miss her a lot. She was like my sister. The judge called it one of the most savage and violent manners I have seen. Sentence, 55 years for murder. 10 consecutive for feticide, total 65 years in Indiana Department of Correction. Eligible for parole after 75%, but that's decades away. Justice served? For many it's bittersweet. The aftermath? Mishawaka changed. Vigils with justice for Bree shirts, counseling sessions at school. Breana's family grieved privately, Melissa at her gravesite. It doesn't get easier. It's just as hard as the first day. I'll never get to hear her voice or watch her go to college. Aaron's family stayed silent, shocked. The case sparked national talks on teen pregnancy, relationships, and violence prevention. 1 year later, Melissa spoke out. Life goes on, but for me it's put on hold until I see her in heaven. And now, in 2025, the case is dominating headlines again. Per recent docs like Twisted Beliefs. New investigations question missed signs, Breana's distress, Aaron's searches, school oversight, overlooked evidence, accomplices, failures in protection. It's reigniting debates on juvenile justice, reproductive rights, and community vigilance. Breana's story isn't over, it's a call to action. Prevent this heartache. Remember her not for how she died, but how she lived, kind, vibrant, unbreakable in spirit.